What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of the Busy Life Podcast. Woo! My name is Julie, and today we are talking all about body image struggles, something that I know so many women deal with, and it is just not fair. I've had a couple things happen to me recently that really provoked me to want to come back to this topic. This is not something that is like a first time for the Busy Life Podcast. We've had some awesome people come on and share their stories. I've had people come on who work with other women that also deal with body image struggles. So this is not new here. And it is very accepted and a non-judgmental topic. So if you, and honestly, not even women, like it's not just women that feel this. I know men in my life that struggle with their body image. So I think this is an important conversation for everybody. And any human that is listening to this that has ever once looked in the mirror and been like, I don't like this. This isn't fair. This is this. This is that. This is for you. Because my goal today is by the end of this episode, you will appreciate even just the smallest bit more of your body. I can't promise you I'm going to heal that relationship that you have with your body. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I can't prescribe anything for you. But I can tell you, as your bestie, as your girl, the fact that you chose to listen to this tells me that you do want to get better and that you understand what you've got going on in your mind and that it's not, our thoughts are not always true. Our thoughts are not us. So let's take a deep breath. Let's hold hands and let's tackle this topic together, because what I can promise you is that I'm here for you, that this is a safe space, and that you are not alone in this struggle. No matter who you are, what you've been through, what you've got going on, you're not alone. And even if you feel that way, I promise you're not. So let's jump into this. For my newbies who are like, I am not sure, what exactly she's talking about here, that's okay. Body image is the way we perceive our body. So the thing with body image is that it can create or reduce confidence. And unfortunately, more than 80% of us will let it reduce our confidence. And even people that you think have the most shredded body, the most beautiful bodies, the most XYZ bodies, they probably struggle too. We are our worst critics. So every time we look in the mirror, we have to remind ourselves, don't say that shit. Because the more we talk to ourselves like the way we're thinking, the worse and worse we're making it. So the way we think about our body not only impacts our confidence, but it can impact the rest of the day. We could be trying on clothes. I know this is such a common example. We could be trying on clothes. And you and your bestie are going to Target. You're so excited. You're like, I need a dress for the party Saturday. I'm ready. Let's go. You go to Target, you pick up a dress. Also love Target. But you pick up a dress and you're like, this is it. This is the dress. She's so cute. You put it on. You see back fat. Your arms look bigger than you wanted them to. Your stomach is sticking out. It makes you look frumpy. I mean, these are just a small amount of things that you probably said to yourself putting on that dress. Now you're not going to buy the dress, and you and your friend were about to go get lunch, but now you don't want to because you feel fat. And so now you don't really want to eat the burger that you were so excited to have. And now you're going to starve yourself by either just getting a side salad or you're just not going to eat at all. And then what you might even do too is you might go home and exercise for 2 hours when in reality that's stupid. And it's like, what are you doing? And this all came from a lack of self-confidence and our body image struggles, because that one thought that we had deteriorated the rest of our day. And it's just too common. It is unfortunately too common. And no matter how healthy and stable of a family and home you came from, you probably still have it. Because even if your family members weren't saying anything to you, maybe you saw the way that your friends were getting treated in school. I will be the first to say that when I was in middle school, all of the girls who were, given more love, given more attention, things like that, at least what it looked like on the outside, had the cooler things, were the skinny girls. All the girls that could wear bikinis, the girls that could wear size extra small, the girls who looked tiny. It wasn't fair. They had this tiny, tiny pooch because it's normal. We're women. We have a uterus. We can't get rid of that. And it was acceptable. But in middle school, I was not a size extra small. I had always been told that I was larger, I was bigger, and that it doesn't matter because you're always just going to be this way. And that just became something I accepted. I was like, okay, fine. I'll never fit in an extra small. I'll never be able to look like them. I'll never get the attention like them. I'll never meet a man one day that loves me because I don't look like them. And I started to attach my value to that from middle school. And honestly, if we're being honest here, which we are, it wasn't even middle school. It was in elementary school too. You think I didn't notice the skinnier girls that had more friends because they were quote quote prettier because they were skinny? Mm. You best believe I noticed that. And that I was not because I was a little frumpier, but I was actually the nicer one. And those girls were bitches because they were being raised that it is a good thing that they were skinny. And it's a good thing that they look that way because that makes you popular. Mm, mm. That was not okay. And to be raised in a society where that is acceptable or was acceptable, and honestly still is. I mean, Instagram now flaunts everybody who looks amazing. It's very, very, not that you don't look amazing, and everybody looks amazing, but in the stereotypical definition of amazing, those are the people that get posted everywhere. Those are the people who are taking the pills and doing all the things, the artificial things, and getting praised for it. And it's just not fair. And there's just so much more into it that causes all of this body image drama and the struggle and the pain that we feel. Magazines, it's everywhere. Are you going to see somebody on the cover of a magazine who's been working really hard and is struggling right now? Probably not. Probably not. Will you see somebody who struggled a lot and then made it? Yes, that is very likely. But back in the day, no. I mean, I saw a Instagram video of Britney Spears at age 16, and she looked phenomenal, but girlfriend's mental health was not well. We all know that. It's just not right. The pressure that we are given, unfortunately, that we didn't ask for, is too high to fit standards that we did not get to make. I'm going to say that again. The pressure that we feel nowadays and back then, and probably unfortunately into the future, that we feel is too heavy to meet the standards that we did not get to make for ourselves. Like, what? I just get so angry that we still live in a world where it's just so hard to love yourself. And I know we've made a lot of progress. We have. We have. But still, we have a lot of work to do. There's still a lot on the internet, out in the world, things that are coming out of people's mouths that are not okay. And it still bothers people. And that's okay too, because that's trauma. Clearly, I'm having probably a trauma response right now to all the things that I'm talking about. But I'm doing it with you because this is our safe space to talk about it. And this is our safe space to realize that it's not our fault. And like I said, if I can get you to listen to this episode, you make it all the way, and you have a little bit more, just 1% more appreciation for your body than you did before you listened to this, then I did a good job. I did my job here. And it's going to take work and it's going to take time. But I just want you to know it's not your fault. So let me tell you a story. Recently, I had started a cut, and I talked about this on the podcast. I went over how to do a healthy cut, and I was very proud with this cut. I dropped about 5 to 7 pounds, and I was like, you know what? I'm feeling good. So I stopped because I was like, you know what? I'm starting to get those thoughts again. I'm starting to get to a place where I'm not mentally loving this, and I think that's a sign for me to stop. I was so proud of the way I listened to my body and the way I listened to the cut. So I just said, you know what, we're doing good. I then, because I was so into tracking for that time period, I was like, I kind of just want to do some intuitive eating. Again, I'm a nutrition coach, so I knew what I was doing, and I was like, I'm going to take this one day at a time. However, if you heard my last episode before this, my life went in a totally different direction. Things just got very crazy. So definitely go back and listen to that episode so you know what I'm talking about. But it was not easy. And my cortisol levels spiked. I don't know this for a fact based on like blood work, but I know it because I did not feel like myself. The bloating was coming back, and I haven't been bloated in a long time. The stress was so high, and the weight was going up. The scale was going up. I did not go back to the number I started at, but going backwards was enough to send me in a downward spiral. It was enough to make me pissed. It was enough to make me want to not starve myself, but keep asking, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Why does she look like this and she can do this? And why does she look like this and she can do this? And right there is where I lost. Comparison is the thief of joy. And the fact that I was so overwhelmed and in such a crazy place meant that I fell to that. And honestly, it's okay because we are human, and sometimes we got to fall so that we can get back up. You can't, everything can't be perfect. That's like they say, you have to bite into a yucky apple to appreciate the good ones. So it happens. So lesson number 1 from that I want you guys to take from this is that it's okay if you have the bad thoughts. It's okay if you start the comparison game. Please forgive yourself. But I don't want you to live there. I don't want you to stay in that. I want you to honor it. I want you to feel it. And then I want you to move on from it and redirect yourself. I had seen a friend, and this friend told me that she had lost about 50 pounds. And I was so proud of her because I knew that she had been wanting to lose weight for a long time. And for her, 50 pounds was healthy. So I don't want you to hear this and be like, whoa, that's not good. It was healthy for her. I asked her what she was doing, and she said, oh, nothing. I'm just only eating about 1,000 calories a day. My blood began to boil. You cannot live your life the best way that you want to, only eating 1,000 calories a day. You know what they say that toddlers should be eating? Around 1,000 calories, probably even 1,200 calories. You know what you should not be doing as an adult? Eating 1,200 calories. She said she was even eating less, which, woo. I then began to spiral again. Because here I'm thinking, this is fucked up. She can do nothing except for eat 1,000 calories a day, and now she's down 50 pounds. I am exercising. I'm trying to take care of myself. I'm eating a well balanced diet, and I went up. Like, I was so pissed. And I know you're listening to this and you're like, but Julie, she was eating 1,000 calories a day only. Like, that's not good. And you know that. I do know that. I do. But that's just so infuriating. I don't even know if I'm saying that word right, but it's fine. We're going to move on. It's not fair. It's not fair that yet again, the bad behavior gets rewarded. Now, is there anything I can do about that? No, but it makes my body image struggles get even harder because I am working hard and I'm not seeing the results that I wanted to see like she is. Again, we are two totally different people going through two totally different things, but it feeds into the problem. And I don't blame you if you've had a conversation with somebody somehow similar to that. Maybe they told you, oh my God, I've been doing Zumba classes for 2 weeks and I'm already down 5 pounds. And you've been doing Zumba classes for 2 years and you are not down any pounds. It's okay. So, my next lesson then, besides not comparing yourself, is don't let other people's joy impact yours. She was so happy when she was telling me this, and I very much could have gone all nutrition coach on her and been like, what in the world are you doing? That is not enough food. Da, 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 da. But she was happy. She was. I don't know what her habits were like prior to that. Maybe she wasn't eating at all. Maybe she was eating so many calories. I mean, I don't know. And quite frankly, it's not my business to ask her. But what I do know is as long as she is happy, I'm happy. And I know there's a little bit of controversy with that, but you are her friend and you are a nutrition coach, so you should tell her that's not enough. But you know what? There's a time and a place for everything. And if she was happy in that moment, who am I to be the asshole to take that away from her? So, what I needed to do then was find my happiness too and create it. And say, you know what? Like I've been busy, but I'm really proud that I've been consistent, that I've been taking care of myself the best I can. And honestly, I don't have anything to complain about. I got a roof over my head. I've got a fridge full with food and a body that can move in the ways I want it to. I have nothing to complain about. It's that moment where you need to detach from the comparison and create your own happiness and recognize the hard work that you are putting in. Because if you let other people's joy, whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. It's not your choice. Take that away from you, then you lose. And that's not fun. Now, in this moment, I'm not going to pretend like I was as wise as I am right now. In this moment, instead, actually, I panicked. I got home after I saw her. I panicked and I called my sister-in-law. Shout out to Gemma. I love you so much. Who is a registered dietitian. And I do need her to come on here and talk about this with you guys even further. But she said to me a few things that I really want to share with you guys. Number one, I said to her, you know what, Gemma, I'm just not happy. I feel like everything I do isn't working. I eat well, I exercise, I drink all the water, I'm very regular going to the bathroom, my bloating has gone down, I don't get it. Why is the number not changing? And you would think as a personal trainer and as a nutrition coach, I would know the answer to this, but sometimes you can hear other people's problems and you're like, oh my God, I get it. And then you have your own and it's like you forgot. So I call her and she's like, well, like you said that you weigh X amount of pounds and that you want to weigh X, which is 20 less. And she said, I have a question though. would you have been happy with your body had you not seen that number? And I said to her, no, because I was looking in pictures of me in a bikini and I didn't like the way my pictures looked. And I didn't like this and I didn't like that. And I didn't like this and I didn't like that. And for somebody like me who has a podcast like this where I'm trying to be real with you guys and I give you guys all the advice, I sometimes I have a hard time taking my own advice. And sometimes that makes me feel like I'm not qualified to do these podcast episodes because it's like, well, Julie, take your own damn advice. But she then said something that made me feel better. She said, Julie, you are a human being, right? And humans make mistakes. Their body weight fluctuates. Their life changes all the time. You are not meant to be the same. You are not meant to stay the same. And the most important thing I want you to remember is you are a human being, not a human doing. That was like mic drop. Maybe we're doing too much. Maybe we are letting too much negativity influence our brains and our mindset. And maybe we have a lot of unlearning to do. And that's okay too. But maybe it's not our fault. Maybe there's nothing wrong with you in the first place. Maybe that number is going up because I am stressed and my body has been holding on to some things. Like I told you guys, I finished that cut. I was like, woo, I'm feeling great. And then life happened. That's okay. Because now that I'm in a better headspace, I am so proud of my body. Oh, I'm going to get emotional. I am so proud of how hard I've worked. And when I think about how far I've come and the bullshit I've dealt with, the rude comments people have made to me about my body when it is none of their fucking business, I made it through all of that. And you have too. Look at how far you've come. I bet you right now, you're thinking of all those memories of the times you saw something and wanted to be like this, or the times you posted a picture and didn't like this, or the times that somebody said something to you and you will never forget it because it was so hurtful. I bet you're remembering it right now because it traumatized you. And that's okay. It traumatized me too. And I mean, it wasn't our fault. We have been raised in a world where you have standards that you, quote unquote, have to meet in order to be accepted, in order to find a partner in life, in order to be able to wear a bikini, in order to feel good in a picture or to even be seen in a picture, in order to have the kind of job you want. I mean, the list goes on how you, quote, quote, get what you want if you look a certain way. Like, what is that? That is so messed up. And it makes us feel like we are wrong. And so she said to me, like, what do you want? Like, what are you hoping to get out of this? And I said to her, I just want to have a confident body when I go on the beach. Like, I want a body that is ready to be on the beach. And she said, your body is ready. It's not like your stomach's wide open. It's not like, you can't go out. You're ready. You are beach ready. Put on a suit and get out on the beach. You're ready. Who says you can't? And I said, well, I mean, I didn't like the way I looked in this one bikini. And she was like, then throw it away. Get another one that you feel better in. Get the clothes that you actually feel better in. And she's right. Because I had to go through my closet not that long ago. I mean, 16-year-old Julie had some cute clothes. So I saved them because 29-year-old Julie still wanted to wear them. Well, 29-year-old Julie tried them on and they do not fit the same because 16-year-old Julie was very skinny. That's, again, another story for another day. But 16-year-old Julie was told that she needed to be skinny. She was told that you should be dancing every day for an hour so that you can have a dancer's body and that you can have dancer's legs and that you will be attractive and you'll look good in your prom dress and that you will make more friends because you're pretty. And now that you have your braces off, you should be skinny too because that makes you look better. Okay. How about Julie should dance because she likes it? Or Julie is a great person already and she doesn't need any of those things to make her feel any better? Hmm? Hmm? How about that? Nah. Let's just focus on the superficial things instead. I really hope that you're listening to this and you're like, damn, my life was not that fucking hard. But that's some of the things I was told. Not by everybody, but by a certain amount of people that I will never forget it. And here it still creeps into my late 20s and it sucks. So, what am I doing about it? Well, after that conversation with Gemma, I felt like a weight was lifted. I really felt like it wasn't my fault. I felt like I genuinely am doing my best. And what I actually need to do is just release some stress, whether that is through yoga, journaling, meditation, taking a break, saying no, turning the phone off, whatever it is, and just be. Maybe that's what I need. I also felt like, you know what? It's not my fault. A lot of this is coming from a place that I was taught, that you are taught, that a lot of us are taught. And it's not mine to carry. Now, I do have to do the work and I do have to practice every single day reteaching myself, because just because it wasn't my fault doesn't mean it's not mine to deal with. This is my brain and my thoughts, and I want to be better about this. So now I will put in the work. And I will do this because I love myself. I care too damn much about my body and about my life to let some bullshit that other people have said define who I am. That is not happening. And I don't want that to happen to you either. You have worked too freaking hard to get to where you are now to let any kind of bullshit or false news that has been told to you, written to you, said to you, whatever it is, dictate your life. I won't let that happen to you. I care too much about you to let the bullshit take over. So I want you to do this practice. I actually learned this from Mel Robbins. She is my all-time idol. She says in her book, The High Five Habit, that one day she looked in the mirror and she said she saw her saggy boobs and this and that. And she was like, oh my God. And she just raised her hand and gave herself a high five. It's that simple. And you're like, Julie, a high five, and that's it? No, but it's step one. Cheering yourself on, being proud of yourself, is taking one step every day to honor yourself and to praise yourself rather than to pick at and take apart yourself. So that's what she does. She said every morning she gets up, she looks in the mirror, and she gives herself a high five because the only person who's going to change her life is her. And that is the same way with you and I. Listening to this is great, and I hope you get some advice from it. But if after you listen, you don't do anything about it, nothing's going to change. You can listen to all the self-help books, shows, podcasts, everything. But if you don't actually do something about it, you won't reap the benefits. I have to do the same thing. Just because I'm on here talking about it doesn't mean that, okay, right after I do this, I'm never going to look in the mirror and be upset again. Woo! All fixed. I wish. But it's not that easy. It's not your fault, and it's not yours to carry, but it is yours to remove it and to deal with it and to make it better. Whether you need to high five the mirror, whether you need to talk to somebody, let those feelings out like I did. Because I'm telling you, after I talked to Gemma, it was like, oh my God, this is not my fault. And I just had a revelation. Maybe you need to journal. Maybe you need to do my all-time favorite thing, which is go for a walk and just process and let it out. Whatever you need to do. Maybe even talk to your doctor. Say, hey, I am struggling. I know it's not easy to say and it's not easy to talk about, but you're not alone. If there's anything you get from this, I just want you to know that you are not alone. You're not. That friend of mine that I saw who was on a diet that I don't love, she feels this too. Why else do you think she's doing this? So instead of attacking her with, oh my God, that's not healthy, I want her to know I'm here for her. Because instead of tearing people apart, we should be lifting people up, which is exactly what I want you to get from this. I want you to know you're not alone. I want you to know there are solutions. And I want you to know that even though it's not your fault, it is time for you to put in the work. Because if you don't do that, you won't see a change. You can lay in bed and pray all you want, but ain't nothing going to happen until you decide it's time. I really hope that this episode touched you the way that it touched me. I just had a fire in me that was like, you need to talk about this, because I was struggling with it majority of the week. And the minute I had like hit that low point and I needed to call Gemma and she just talked me through all of it, I was like, you are right. You are right. I do love my body. I am taking care of my body. I am probably doing too much. I am stressed and I'm not letting my body be the way I want it to be. And those thoughts, they do not define me. But in order to be better about them and to be better in general, I got to put in some work. And sometimes maybe that means doing less. For me, I am constantly on the go. I'm a very hyperactive person. So maybe I need to do less. Maybe for you, it's the same, or maybe you need to do more. Maybe you're not doing enough to fill your soul. You know the answer. And if you don't be afraid to ask for help. Reach out to a professional. Like I said, Gemma's a registered dietitian, so I felt very comfortable talking to her, and I would absolutely love to have her come on the podcast and talk more about this with you guys. But if you don't know a registered dietitian, talk to a doctor, talk to your therapist, talk to anybody who is qualified to support you in this, because you're not alone. I am always available to chat because from friend to friend, I got you. And in order to tackle big, scary things, you need to make sure you have people in your corner. And if you're like, oh, I don't have anybody, you have me. You have me. I don't care if we've never met before. You can message me and say, I'm about to do this. This is so scary. And I will message you back and say, I got you. You have me. You are not alone. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for listening. This one, just like the rest of my episodes, come directly from the heart. There is no script, not even bullet points. I just let these roll off the tongue because I want these episodes to feel like you and I are hanging out, going for a walk, driving in the car together. And I want you to feel supported. And I hope you got that along with some stories throughout this podcast. And I just want you to know you got this. I appreciate you guys so much, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.